To every senior who feels forgotten, this letter is for you. Yes, you. The one sitting quietly by the window. The one who sometimes checks the phone, not because you're expecting a call, but just to make sure it still works. The one who laughs in company, but goes home to a silence so loud it has a sound of its own. This letter is for you. We see you. Maybe not as often as we should, maybe not as loudly as you deserve, but we see you, and we need you to know that your absence from a room is felt before anyone says a word. There is something about you that changes the air when you walk in, a warmth, a steadiness, a settledness, the kind that only comes from a life fully lived, from someone who has weathered enough storms to know that the sun always comes back. You carry decades in your eyes. We just haven't stopped long enough to look. I remember the way your hands never seemed to rest, always doing something, fixing something, cooking something, folding, building, planting, holding. Those hands told a story no certificate on any wall ever could. They spoke of early mornings before anyone else was awake, of sacrifices so quiet, so consistent, that nobody thought to call them sacrifices at all. They were just called Tuesday. And somewhere in those same hands, in the way they patted a shoulder, smoothed a blanket, pressed themselves together in prayer over people who didn't even know they were being prayed for, was a kind of love so ordinary it became invisible, not because it was small, but because it was constant. Like air, like gravity, like something you only notice when it's gone. And your voice, do you know how many of us still hear it? In our best moments, when we're about to give up on something, and something inside us says, keep going, that voice belongs to you. You planted it in us so long ago we forgot where it came from. But it came from you. It was always you. Maybe the world moved fast and left you standing still. Maybe the grandchildren are busy. Maybe the visits got shorter and the phone calls became holidays only. Maybe some of the people who used to sit at your table are no longer here, and that empty chair is the heaviest thing in the room. You don't move it. You can't, because moving it would mean something you're not ready to mean. We understand that more than you know. We know what it is to love someone so much that even their absence takes up space. We're sorry we don't say it enough. You are not a chapter that is ended. You are not someone to be managed, visited out of obligation, or spoken to slowly, as if your wisdom left before your hearing did. You are a whole person. Still, always. There is so much we never thanked you for. The meals that had no recipe but always tasted like home. The prayers you whispered over us when you thought we were asleep. The way you showed up, not with grand gestures, but with presence, with constancy, with a love so steady it felt like the floor beneath our feet. We walked on that love every single day. We just didn't always look down. And then there are the things you never told us. The hard years you carried quietly so we wouldn't carry them too. The fears you swallowed before breakfast so the morning felt normal for everyone else. The tears you saved for later, for after, for alone. That kind of love doesn't have a name. It doesn't need one. It just shows up every day in 100 small ways and asks for nothing in return. So today, right now, we're looking. We're saying thank you for every early morning, for every late night, for every time you put yourself last and called it love, for the stories you told and the ones you kept to yourself to protect us, for the strength you wore like ordinary clothing, for surviving things we will never fully understand, and still choosing to be gentle, choosing to show up, choosing every single day to love. You are extraordinary. Not were, are. And if today feels lonely, if the silence is too heavy and the hours too long, we need you to know this. You are thought of. You are prayed for. You are loved in ways that don't always find their way into words or phone calls or visits, but the love is there, quietly, constantly, like you always were for us. Your life is not behind you. Every morning you open your eyes is a gift to everyone who knows your name. Every smile you offer is a light somebody needed that day without even knowing they were looking for it. Every story still inside you is a treasure the world hasn't heard yet, and it deserves to be heard. You are still here, and that is not a small thing. That is everything. You still matter. You have always mattered. And somewhere, in a heart that learned how to love by watching you, you will never, ever be forgotten. With all the love we should have said sooner, letters to seniors.